Hey, what is going on, y'all? Playing a lot of Mono-Green ramp in this format lately. You know me, I really love those ramp decks. I was playing a while with a version running Storm the Festival on the top, and then a bunch of 4s and 5s to go into. But the issue I ran into that mostly was that it died to Angels almost every time, because they just went bigger. And I don't like losing to Angels that much. They're one of the most common decks in Best of 1, so we're playing Ugin here on the top instead. Generally pretty good against opponents that are playing colors and permanents, which is a lot of them. And then the -10 in this deck can get you a whole bunch of fatties to eventually kill them with, and just the -X, of course, exiling all their permanents. That's one of more colors. A solid one here. Then I think Gargaroth is in a pretty good spot in this format as well. Fatal Push, for better or worse, is by far the most common removal spell, as well as things that deal damage like Chandra, Torch of Defiance, and Bone Crusher, and things like that. Even Blood Tithe Harvester, they need 3 blood tokens to kill this, which is not a whole lot. Mayhem Devil, they need a lot of triggers to kill this. And by that time, usually you've gotten a fair amount of value with it already. Just Vigilance, it stops their attacks. Reach stops the Flyer's attacks. Trample goes through the Cauldron Familiar. And you get to draw a card, make a beast, or gain life every single time you attack or block, which is pretty solid. Then we've got some Cavalier of Thorns here too. Not quite as impressive when we actually don't care about Devotion, but 5 mana 5/6 that draws a land and puts it into play, and then when it dies you get another fatty back is pretty alright here. You can also run like Nissa, who shakes the world, or other big things here as well. You could also run more copies of Karn the Great Creator. But Cavalier works pretty well. I want to have a bunch of creatures with power 4 or greater to make Kiora better. So whenever we play a creature with power 4 or greater, we draw a card. We've got a bunch of those, Old Growth Troll, Stomper, and these 6 up here. So they both ramp on their own or get value on their own in terms of Gargaroth. In the case of Gargaroth, and then Kiora is a ramp spell herself, untaps your lands or your elves, and you get to keep the cards flowing that way. Karn is pretty solid here too. Karn is the way that this deck beats Greasefang, as well as just getting our big reach creatures out before they get to Parhelion. So Karn means they can't crew their vehicles. Karn gets your artifact from the sideboard here. If they're doing graveyard stuff, you get Tormod's Crypt. If they have Planeswalkers or similar that are annoying you, you get Pithing Needle. If they're burning you down, you get Shadow Spear. If you're trying to win the game, you get Golos or the Great Henge. And if you want them to stop casting spells, you get Godpharaoh's Statue. And if you miss lands, you get Darksteel Citadel. Quite a lot of options in the sideboard here. We've got 12 1-mana ramp spells here. We really just want to go 1-drop into 3-drop into 4 or 5-drop pretty much every game. So you'll see me mulligan quite a bit for a 1-drop, especially if we're on the draw, as there's no 2-drops, and not doing anything until turn 3 is not great. But if we go 1, 3, 5, then we're pretty well set. We can also just go 1, 1, 5, which is fine, or 1, 1, 3 if we've got a weird draw. One World Tree here is to activate Golos there. That's pretty much all that needs explaining. I think we've got Cultivate because it's card advantage that ramps us into big stuff as well. Yeah, that is pretty much what we're trying to do here. Let's go try it out. Yeah, it's a bunch of mana for Karn on 3. Could be worse. Razor's not actually ramping if I don't draw a land next turn, so we'll play the Mystic. This is where they thought sees me. No, alright. Mistake, so we'll take play Karn.
I will not lose another friend.
I think casting Statue on turn 4 is probably a lot better than the last time. It's pretty good for us. get to kill Karn here. So what do I want to go get? I guess they don't get to kill Karn if I play a 3-drop, huh? Could just get a land. Let's get Henge.
I am not frightened by you.
Or Golos. Oh, we only have 3 lands. Golos isn't doing anything for a while. Get a Henge. And we'll play the Old Growth Troll. And the Stomper to use our mana efficiently. Maybe they can kill the troll and then kill Karn. It doesn't kill. I think we just want to let Karn die rather than jump with the 4/4. We kinda got the good cards out of the sideboard already.
There is always another fight.
Now, what should I want to play here? I think we get the Henge going. Just in case I need the mana later. So they have Cocoa mana. Get their own Henge, sure. They get to trigger their War Master. This is pretty good. I think I'm taking 6 here. It's pretty good. So we -3. Do I want to get the statue down first? I think so. That way they're much less effective at rebuilding afterwards. Of course, we will jump with the troll. We have a bit more mana in case we draw something cool like that. Make sure we tap all our things before they go away. We don't have anything more than a 3-drop, except for the Henge. Yeah, we should be okay from this spot. Unless they find a Boseiju or something for our statue. Cute.
Not ignore.
One short of casting that for now. It's okay. Coco, find 1 creature. Might be tactical, as they would have had to discard the hand size. Attack here. If they block Animal Elves, we get to bolt it. For trade, that's fine. Maybe I should have just used the Lair of the Hydra there. Probably fine either way. Hey, Galagreator's this an elf, huh? Now they're dead too. -2 on Ugin. Xaxes. Hey, finally got to do the thing. No, one drop is probably too slow on the drum. That's better. If I had the third land, I would bot on the Llanowar Elves or the Grazer. Alas, I do not. So we'll keep the Elves. Drew the third land anyway. Might be punished if they kill this immediately. Strict Bonder. Well, it turns off these, which is a bit annoying. Be much more annoying if it ramps my opponent too next turn. Okay, they don't have a Lotus Field. Like to see that. Just sitting on counter spells, I guess. We have 2 mana, right? Yeah, we can pay 2 to get a land off this. If they counter it, we'll just play another elf and attack. Sure. Play both other elves. Guess so. If they wipe the board here, then we untap and play Cavalier, which is fine with me. Probably don't want to use a board wipe against 3/1/1s. Try and do this. Yeah, I'll pay for the lands. Definitely pay to get 3 forests and double elves off the top of my deck. Do I care if they Wandering Emperor or my Elvish Mystic at this point? Not really. If they don't have it, we'll take the 1 point of damage. Does nothing that turn. It's gotta be good for us. They're saving their Emperor to take out the Cavalier. They remembered the reach. Unfortunate. They're about to attack in there. Faithful Absence. Absolutely. Guess I'll take a Topiary Stomper on top. Immediately draws a card. And we have 7 lands, so we can attack with it here. Probably not worth throwing these away. Can I draw my Topiary Stomper? No reason to hold the land. Maybe they have more mana-based counterspell stuff. Stomper having Vigilance makes it pretty good into any Wandering Emperors they might have. Now they might use a Wrath if they have one. Or they might cast a Fairy. Yep. Yeah, they can't really minus to Fairy. Sure.
You know what? I'm not.
I can force a removal spell out of them here. Otherwise, Teferi dies. Another Stomper, sure. If they want to use another Fateful Absence, that's fine with me. I'm just gonna check. Sure. We go for the land thinning. So drawing none of our Lair the Hydras in all these lands. Even take a Seiju to get rid of their castle here.
No time for a break.
That's enough. Hasn't been working mulliganing for a 1-drop, so this is pretty reasonable on the play at least. I think just in Explorer generally on the draw you can't do nothing until turn 3, but on the play against most decks that's fine. Probably a Censor. Who I most want to get censored. It's one of these cultivates. Sure. They don't have double blue, so probably not any other counter spells. Maybe they play Negate, but it hasn't been popular recently. Yeah, nice Field of Ruin. I've got 4 basic forests. About to be 2 more. Spell Pierce in your blue-white control deck. Sure, buddy. Foretells here. Probably a Slot coming. I think this is what I'd most like to get countered. So if we find a land, we can go Kiora into Stomper. They're missing land as well. So play Karn. Not playing around more Jwaris or Censors. Karn resolves, we'll go get the land. Karn does not resolve, sure. For the Kiora Stomper line here. This time we're safe against the 3rd Spell Pierce. Oh, and Speedo. Alright. Yeah, I guess I should have thought of that one when I was saying that the Cultivate wouldn't be countered earlier. That one does see a lot of play. They opt, they find a land. Now they don't have blue up, so we're gonna solve Karn. Go get our land, I guess.
My grief fuels my mission.
Play an elf. Now we control a non-basic land, so they can Field of Ruin it if they so desire. That's why they're suddenly getting priority. Playing the elf out means that if they Teferi into tuck Karn away, we can still kill Teferi. So if they're playing multiple Spell Pierces, who knows what's in their control deck? Sludge Monster. Okay, turn my Llanowar Elf into a 2/2 that no longer taps for mana. You got it. So don't want to play Gargaroth or Golos out into that. So they're pretty much tapped out. Maybe I just want to get the God Pharaoh statue here. Yeah, it seems alright. They have the third Spell Pierce, as we were talking about. Seems pretty unlikely, though. Yeah, probably just a March or something. Maybe another cantrip. Borrowed time. You have the answer. I think I'll jump away the Llanowar Elves to save my Karn here. Do not turn my Citadel into a 0/0.
Evil cannot withstand a righteous arm.
Topiary Stomper can block, and if they put the counter on it, it loses all abilities anyway. So we'll play that out. Alright, was a cantrip. Maybe they'll tap mana again, and then we can resolve Ugin. That'd be pretty cool. They could still have a counterspell there. Could still have Sot coming, or Absorb, or Golden Speedo. Any of these things. Don't think Gargaroth is a winning line, though, so make him have it. Divide by 0. Alright, go for it again next turn. Could be worse. They loot away their March. Huh. Maybe they don't realize that can kill my land. Got one Garden Hand. Let's see if it counters Ugin. Second Ugin. Alright. Solves. This is a 5-drop. Get my statue back. Wandering Emperor can attack Ugin down. Second Ugin.
Guards, to me.
Let's
Yep. Second Ugin, get rid of both of those. Guess they'll still have one card in hand from Teferi.
Strike fast and strike hard.
Unless they want to tuck the statue.
I leave you to your doom.
They're tucking the statue.
You need to take a time out.
So we get Ugin onto an empty board. I'll hold the Seiju since we've seen Borrowed Time.
How long do you
Still have much to learn.
You are too dangerous to roam.
Draw off of their Skybridge towers and concede to Ugin on 2. Good stuff. I'm not really sure that concession is right there. They have lots of ways to answer Ugin, and Lightning Bolt every turn is not really that good against them. They could divide it and have an actual counterspell. They could Teferi again. Might have Fateful Absence. Yeah, it should be alright. We draw a land, it plays Gargaroth on 3. Sacrifice deck. Placed my O3. Attacks, love to see it. Another land, love to see that. No attacking with the Sloth. Maybe dispute their witness, sure. Cat dispute. Nothing out of the ordinary so far. This sacrifice deck is pretty good too, by the way. We'll be playing that one before too long. Playing my Stomper, Village Rites it, or what have you. But then, I guess they can get Cat Oven online, it's a bit annoying. But I don't have a good answer to the Gargaroth. And they don't have a third land, it's gonna be pretty good for us. There's the third land. Would they have a real removal spell? Does not look like it. So we get to do some Gargaroth things. Nice, nice. Try and draw something better than a Grazer to do here. 3/3s without trample don't do much into the cats. They have the extra food, they might as well take the block. Guess I'll play the Grazer so I can cast Ugin next turn. If they just have Cat Oven on board, probably plus Ugin. Another land. Okay, 3/2. If they have one other creature, they can possibly block the Gargaroth. Meet for 0. Sure. It's another thing that goes away when I Ugin for 2 here. attack the Gargaroth. Maybe they'll be tricked into using the oven. It's not really a reason not to attack. Unless I wanted to make a 3-3 for whatever reason. I guess I wouldn't lose this life against the meat hook if I did that. With the meat hook on board, I think I'm minusing. If it were just the creatures, I might still plus here. See which one they want to save, their cat or their underdog. Already have one cat in the bin, underdog is probably the right choice here. Might be time to start gaining life off the Gargaroth. I think that's safer at this point. The only way we lose is if we get cheesed out. They just don't do very well into big tramplers.
Your efforts will not succeed.
And another land. Start using those. Gotcha.
Do not ignore my draconic talents.
If I attack the lair, they can still just block with the cat, so no good. I do want to actually find Karn in this matchup, though. Kyora's pretty good, too.
Bet you've never been hugged by a kraken before.
But you've never been hugged by a kraken. Indeed. Yeah, might as well play this out. Alright, kill me from 16, opponent. Go for it. Oh, I dare ya.
Anyone need
That's
a
one
fire
I've
started?
not seen in this shell for a while.
Too bad.
Does make a ready supply of bodies to sacrifice, but not going to do too much here. So a pretty good chance they're dead next turn. With the trample and the bolting face. Cast Dispute, because they want to hit like land removal spell for Gargaroth if they have such a thing. And they do not. GG. Yeah, on the draw, no guaranteed third land. We're gonna throw this back. That's fine. I think we throw back the Grazer. Maybe it's supposed to be Ugin. Long way from casting Ugin. But Mystic, Stomper, Karn is pretty solid too. Use the Grazer. He's not doing anything until turn 3 anyway. Maybe they want to take Karn or something. Stomper is not that good. It's just rampant growth until the late game. Take the Stomper anyway. Play an Elf. I just have Fatal Push lined up for the Elf. Or similar. No. Okay. Attack for 1. Play another Elf. The opponent's on Fireless Tracker. Karn stops their clues from working. Karn stops Oven from working against Cat Oven. Right, they do not want to face Karn. Works for me. Yeah, that works. Cure on 2, Stomper on 3 and 4. Opponent takes a mulligan. Plays Basic Mountain. Play my Ramp Dork that does not die to removal against Basic Mountain. Probably play the Llanowar Elf with Kiora here. They play Robber the Rich, the Grazer blocks it. Stomp my face, sure. Good, untap that. Looks like the stock red aggro. Their play here is Bone Crusher. We can start running away with things. If they want to attack with their Emissary and spend a removal spell on my Grazer, that's fine with me too. They just took the attack because it was free. Yeah, just playing Bone Crusher anyway. Or I could play Gargaroth. There's no guarantee I get to play both Stompers. I think I'm just supposed to play Gargaroth here.
The ocean surges, life thrives.
There's a Torbrand. I think this trade is still fine for us. Get to make a 3/3. Or actually, jump with the Grazer, and I can attack with Gargaroth and get multiple triggers out of it. I like that. And now I can play both Stompers. Let's attack the Gargaroth first, see what happens. I have a land drop. I'm just gonna make a beast here. Trading off with mono-red creatures is usually pretty good. Take 6, of course. Play Stomper. Guard, get a land. Can play 2 more Mystics, or I can play another Stomper. I think I'm fine playing another Stomper.
I love to make a splash.
1 more land and they can attack and block. There it is. Alright, yeah. Next turn we can get a Shadow Spear with Karn and put it on our Gargaroth, and there's absolutely no way they're coming back. Also, we just have too much beef on board. Fairy Avatar. I think I'm okay with double Grazer Cultivate. Let's ramp all the way. Tap land down. Right, spirits. Razor can do some blocking there. Get to hold with the Seiju for a minute. Maybe they just counter this. They do not. Okay, turns that into 3, so it blocks here. Save the Grazer for when they have... what is it? Curious Obsession or something on. I think I'm just putting this Seiju into play. We draw land, we can play Ugin. Looks like they found the Curious Obsession. Yep. Can stop them drawing off that for a couple turns with our Grazers. Okay. Ugin resolves. Unless they're gonna tap my Mystic on my upkeep, which I guess they could. Oh no, I'm one short, huh? Rough. Needed to draw the land, right? I said that earlier. So tap my Grazer now. So do get to hit me with the Wanderer here. Take 7. I have 4 cards in hand with which to counter Ugin. Not too hopeful here. Really needed to top deck the land last turn. Yeah. Guess we can still rip another one off the top. Guess they have any Flash Spirit here. 2, 5, 4, yeah, we're dead. Got exactly enough counter spells, as always. No 1-drop, no 3rd land, this is going back. There's a 1-drop. Drop that off, sure. And blue-white control again, lovely. I'd rather they counter this one.
My prowess is
Narset.
unmatched for thoughtfulness before action.
So we can get this Stomper down. Need a land. Could also resolve Karn. I don't think there's much point in that here, though. Play the Stomper. Attack Narset down.
You could use some training. I have just the trick for this.
One's missing lands, though, so we have a reasonable shot. Guess I'm supposed to go for the Gargaroth. I want to play around another Censor at least when I do so. And if we draw a land, we can play both of these next turn. Resolves. It might just be seeing they're out as drawing land into Wrath. Faithful Absence, sounds fine. Let's see if we draw a land here. If so, then we can attack with the Mystic. Cultivate. I think I want to cultivate. Absorb for sure. Find a 4th land. That's pretty good. Double spelling is always nice.
Not to brag, but my friend's kind of a big deal.
Untap this to play around a sensor.
Let's get moving.
Okay, results, draw card. If they want a minus their Wandering Emperor on my Elvish Mystic, that's fine. Yeah, good job. Yes, they make it 2-2 and eat it, which makes this bad. Whatever.
Then keep watch for intruders. We've got the edge in this fight.
That's a Teferi.
I'm
I have the March up for the Pithing Needle.
You need to slow down.
Too
The
clever.
minus, though. So that means we can attack. Guess we still just go for the Pithing Needle here. Forces them to use their card.
You will not threaten this world.
And that means they're not using it on my Lair of the Hydra, which is pretty good. Okay, exile a card from their hand, sure. So that means they still get to cast Memory Deluge here.
Hold that thought.
Maybe they forgot about untapping lands with Teferi. So they would still have the same amount of mana up after they untap here.
Guards, to me.
Yeah, so they just spent that card for nothing. That's cool. What am I getting now? I think first things first, we're attacking with the Stomper. Let's see, we can cast a Henge here, that's not bad. Go Henge into Cultivate. Counterspell, sure. Oh, still do this in the Cultivate.
One drop ripples and grows.
Let's skip to the good part.
Okay, kill that. Token and 3 mana up.
May your blades strike true.
Not great. Draw another duplicate Planeswalker. So we play Karn and try and get goalless. The counterspell. Thanks. Push their block here.
Some solutions must be built.
Not looking good for us at this point. Opponent refuses to draw lands. We refuse to draw creatures.
Show them how we greet our enemies.
Okay, this land does things though. Thing is, if we even get anything cool off Karn, they just kill it with Teferi, right? There's a chance that they can't kill this. It's a pretty low chance, but it is a chance. Yep. Have anything reasonable here? Guess I can still cast Golos first.
There are greater battles to fight. I will not stop.
Nature flows with vigor.
This is where they have another sensor. I quit. No, nothing there for 2 mana. Talk to Golos, yeah.
Reverse.
Still hit a couple running creatures and draw a bunch of cards off Kiora. This one shuffles away our Golos, which is a bit annoying. But still certainly worth playing out. Never mind, it doesn't matter. If this card is not Ugin or a 4-power creature, I'll pack it in here. Should probably just pack it in anyway.
Tides always rise again.
It's on the plan. Maybe playing Ulamog would give us a bit more play against blue-white control, but I don't think there is a whole lot you can do in best of 1 against that. It's just not really threats that Mono-Green can play that are not weak to sweepers or all of the removal that they get to play nowadays. Opponent's playing a very fast deck. Might be punished for not having a 1-drop here. Yeah, this deck has really fallen off from what I've seen since format launched. or since the favorite hoplite was released on Arena. The Seiju holding priority there might scare them a little bit. But this is already too big for my troll, which is bad, to say the least. Since that's the case, we're going to go ahead and cultivate here. At least we can draw a card off the troll we're about to jump with. There's the Virtuoso. You know, we really have to be scared. Could have a protection spell, could have Reckless Rage, which would be much more punishing.
Right into battle. The ocean surges.
We're pretty far behind here. Not many choices. And yeah, that's a Reckless Rage. They can probably kill me through no blockers here. They just need to put 2 counters on their Virtuoso, which, if any of these is a spell, they have. Good start on the play. Is also on turn 1 elf game plan.
I defy God.
Try and play Gargaroth on 3 here.
I love to make a splash.
Yeah, Green Mirror does not beat Gargaroth on 3 on the play. Good to know. Yeah, this looks okay. Slice Rakdos. If this survives, we'll try and play Cavalier on 3. No blocks. Not putting much pressure on, so I'm okay playing a creature that doesn't block. Still might kill the Mystic and I won't be able to Cavalier next turn, but that's kind of fine at this point. As Growth Troll Winter Elves should slow them down a fair bit. Drop off an Ob Nixilis. Interesting. Can't block. Just gonna cast another one. Yeah. Probably looking for land if they're Village Rites Man phase and dropping off their pretty good Planeswalker. Yep. No land was found on that day. A lot of those Rakdos decks probably pretty low land counts, which I guess I can't really talk, just whiffed on my Cavalier. Alright. Yep. You're on 2, Troll on 3, Ugin later. Flopsies. We'll take one of the 3 drops. We'll play the other one. Yep. That's probably what I would have chosen there. Don't know what's in their hand though. So their Mystic's not doing me much good here. We want to get to 5 pretty much. Set for the Ugin, then if I drop off the Ugin, I'm not getting to Ugin anyway. Okay, a 3-drop that doesn't block 4/4, seems good. Do I want to Boseiju that? Probably not at this point. Only need 2 more mana for Ugin. Just giving them a 4th land is pretty risky. If it were later in the game and it weren't a significant mana boost for them, I would. Means if they kill my troll, then I'm only 1 land away from Ugin. Still need a couple more cards in the bin to escape their Kroxa. Play Chandra. Looks like they want to kill the troll.
What? My hair is on fire?
If they kill the Stomper, then Chandra dies.
Feel the burn!
Maybe I'm just supposed to get the 4/4 here. And the 4/4 allows me to kill Chandra. I guess I can kill Chandra with Llanowar Elves anyway. Allows me to put them to 5 and kill Chandra. Okay. So yeah, now we can just play Ugin. Do I want to minus Ugin? No, I want to plus Ugin. Chandra.
Whatever. Figure it out on your own.
Much lower chance that they kill Ugin this way. Alright, not too bad. Hey, if you're still here, don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and check out the Patreon if you want to support the channel. Thank you. Get to show Ugin and Karn in the matchups that I really think they're great in this deck for, but just trust me, I've played this on my own and found them quite good there. Karn into Cat, Evan, and Greasefang especially, Ugin into Angels especially, but also anyone that plays the board. Did see Ugin just do good against various decks there, and that was fine, but it's just a real blowout against Angels, which is specifically why I'm playing the Ugin version. But it went pretty well with this version today, 8-4, I think, with pretty much this version. Went a little rougher earlier with a slightly different version without having the full 4 of each these 3 drops, which I think is pretty essential. Only running 23 lands because I found I was flooding quite a bit, and between the Cultivates and the Stompers we have a lot of ways to draw additional lands, and the Cavaliers and Kioras as well. And with the 8 Elves we don't really need that many lands to get to 4 and 5 mana, so I think 23 is alright. Probably want to play the 4th layer of the Hydra if you have one. You might even be able to play a second Boseiju if you want. It's also possible that Cascading Cataracts is better than the World Tree, but I think I like World Tree because it can play Old Growth Troll on 3. Cascading Cataracts does not die to Field of Ruin, as we saw against that game against Blue White. Not that that really mattered at that point in the game, but some other times it could. A bit of a trade-off there, but overall, pretty happy with this build. I like playing big old green creatures and later on playing Ugin and destroying everything our opponent worked for so hard in that game. Kiora, I think, is very impressive here. You do not want to cut Kiora, and as long as you're playing a reasonable amount of creatures that trigger her, just the ramp as well as the consistent card draw on a 3-mana Planeswalker that you can play on turn 2 a lot of the time, and then play on turn 2 and on tap play another 1-drop a significant amount of the time is just really sweet. And yeah, that's my thoughts. I like this one. Thanks for watching.